Welcome, everyone, and this is Know Your Church podcast. And my name is Dorothy, and my co-host is
Temwanani. Hi, everyone. So today we'll be continuing from our discussion last time, where we'll be discussing the Constitution. We're just basically understanding what the Constitution is.
So, like the church government might sound boring, but it protects our unity, ensures accountability, and helps us reflect on Christ's order. So, the new constitution, when do you think it came to effect, Temonani?
In 2024, on the 23rd of November, that's when we had revised Constitution.
For real?
Yes.
So, meaning that it's just by 2 years.
Yes.
You know, I didn't even know that aspect, personally speaking.
Did you even know we had the Constitution?
Okay.
To begin with.
No, I did know that we have a constitution to begin with, but the thing is, since, remember, we've already done 2 segments of the
Yes.
constitution, which was part 1 and part 2. And then
Yes.
this time around, what part are we doing?
We're doing
Part are we doing?
We're doing part 3 today. We kind of touched it last time, but we'll just start from part 3. That's the last part.
Okay, can I just ask something? Since we did part 2, can you just refresh our minds? Because I feel like my mind is a bit fuzzy. I don't remember much about it.
Just go back and watch it. Okay, I'll give you a recap on what we did last time. So part 2 was basically talking about the church, how the church is formed. So we're talking about the constitution, the congregation mainly. So when we look at the congregation, it's made up of 50 or more people. We talked about sections and things like that. We didn't go past that. So another part that I was so interested in is if you offend, for lack
If
of
you
a better
offend.
term, if you offend
Who did
the
you
church, or
offend?
if you do something that's out of line, because we're supposed to discipline people, are supposed to put people back in line. You first go to the pasture. What we always talk about.
We like pasture.
Yes. So
As you go,
we
pasture
looked
case.
at that. It kind of preempts what's in part 3, but that's basically what we talked about last time.
So now, for our viewers, thank you for tuning in, and please leave your comments or questions. We'll reply back to them. Now, what's interesting is that today we've got 2 interesting guests. 2 interesting guests. And I would like to introduce them. One of them is Councillor Frederick Ntonga, and the other one is Mr. Chapu Katongo. Please, can you introduce yourself, like give yourselves a small briefing so that people can know who you are?
Yeah.
Starting with me, obviously.
Yes.
Thank you so
Council.
much. My name is Frederick Mtonga, as earlier said. I've been a member of the United Church of Zambia for the past 30 years, in good standing, actually.
30.
30. So meaning that, when did you start?
I wasn't even born.
So I got baptized in Luansha Town Congregation in 1996. I think that was May or April. I've forgotten the date on the certificate. But yeah, so actually I'm even privileged to have the current Synod Bishop as my personal friend, because
Personal
we went
friend.
to the same congregation.
Oh, so you've got connections. Our friends, you
That's
know,
nice.
connect us.
Yeah. We sang in the same choir, went to the same youth fellowship, the same drama group, so we grew up together just like that. We went to the same school. He was my head boy also at school. Yes.
You've got
So
history.
from Luansha Town Congregation, I came to Lusaka to Evelyn One College to pursue my education, biomedical sciences, and because of proximity with Evelyn One College, that's how I started coming to Trinity Congregation until I became a member in 2012. Because
2012.
all this time I was just coming without transfer data.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went
Like
to get
me.
it, yeah.
So no, he was an adherent. Okay, since
Yeah.
an adherent is someone who's not a communicant member, but for you,
I
you
was.
were a communicant member.
yes.
You just
I didn't
so
come with a
what should
transfer
we call
letter.
that? I think we need a new name. Maybe call adherent.
Yeah, so 2012, I officially became a member of Trinity. It's an interesting church with very good people. In 2019, I became a steward under Section 6, and I served from 2019 to 2023.
Oh.
Yeah. During the same year, I also became a member of the CRR committee.
What's the
A
CRR
position.
committee?
That's a
If
constitution.
Temonani, do you remember?
Let him just say.
Ah,
I don't want
no.
to interrupt
Yeah.
me.
So that's Constitution, Rules and Regulations, CRR. So that's a position which I hold up to now.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, as a member of the CRR committee. Yeah, so far so good. So basically that's about me.
That's
So
a
here
good
we've got
CV.
lawyers. Appa, let me mind how I speak because you just see a court order to show yourself.
No.
And our second guest, Mr. Chapu Katongo, please could you kindly introduce yourself to our viewers?
I'm wondering whether my introduction is as loaded as Council Frederick.
It can't be as bad as mine.
I've been a member of the UCZ, I think, all my life. I think I was baptized way back in '98 in Livingston, Maramba Congregation, where I did my boys Sunday school, boys brigade, until I came to Lusaka for school. Actually, we did meet with Council Frederick at Evelyn On.
Yeah.
were
Oh,
doing
so
school.
you've got history together as well.
Yes, we have that history together. We were at Evelyn Horn, I think, the same intake.
Yes.
And so even when it came to attending UCZ fellowship at school, I think we would always
I was
meet.
Kayaufa.
Yes, yes. So there is that background. But so I came to Lusaka in 2004. And immediately I joined Trinity when I was at Evelyn Horn, and I used to come here. But fortunately, I came with a letter. So for me, it was a direct transition. So I've been a member of this church from 2005, effectively. And I joined...
So 21 years. So 21
yes.
years anniversary with Trinity Congregation. We should celebrate that if you think about it, you know?
Yes, so I've been a member of Trinity since 2005. And when I came here, I was very eager when I saw the Vision of Worship. So I joined Vision of Worship in 2005, and I've been a member of the Vision of Worship since that time. Yeah, you don't see me singing with the group, but I'm
we
still,
usually notice you on the organ, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm
You're
still,
looking at us when the hymns come out.
still a member in the background, and very delighted. I've served as a communications convener for I think somewhere around 2015, 2019. I think I served 2 terms of 2 years. So I've served my 4 years.
Nice.
Yes.
We've got a convener here.
know.
We didn't know. She told us.
Yes,
That's
I
Masengeni.
served as convener. Yeah. So before, I think the previous one, the Patson, then there was, I think, Daniel. Daniel took over from me
Yes.
as convener. And I think last year, not last year, the other year, when there was, I think, a guidance from the Congregational Council that I think sections needed to have membership in terms of the CRR.
Yes.
And so Section 7, because I'm a member of Section 7, the orders, I think, did see it fit that they could invite me to propose my name to be able to be a member of the CRR. And so this is how I find myself to be a member. And I think so far it's been a very good
Experience.
time being a member of the CRR. And I'm happy currently because I'm undergoing TIS training, doing administration. And what we are looking at, especially in that TIS course, is mainly the Constitution, which I'm already a member of. So very delighted to be here today to be able to share some insights and what is contained in our Constitution. Thank you.
Very nice.
No, that is a CV.
Give me 2
Do
years.
you have it? That
Give
CV?
me
Do
2
you have
years.
that CV?
I'm young. I just
Like here, you know, there are men with CVs here.
Yes. Anyway, give me 2 years.
2
So
years.
we'll go straight to our first segment, which is the structure of UCZ, and then we'll first read a Bible verse, which is 1 Corinthians 14, verse 40, which says, but everything should be done in a fitting and
An
orderly
orderly
way.
way.
So to begin with, that's why we have a constitution. Even things for God, according to the
Yes.
Bible, should have order. So the first thing we'll talk about is what are the main levels of government in UCZ, and why do we even have levels of government?
So who are you giving the question to?
Yes.
Or is it open to
It's
both of them?
open to both of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Any?
So the levels of governance that we have in UCZ, to start with, we have a congregation as the basic unit, which we touched, I think we talked about in detail the last time that we
Yes,
were
the
here.
last time. Mhm.
Yes. So we've got a congregation, which is basically has to fulfill certain conditions for it to qualify as a congregation, and those conditions we talked about them. They are enshrined in the Constitution. Then from the congregation, we've got the consistory. So the consistory, what defines a consistory actually? It has to be in line with the maybe local authority planning, so I can say, because the boundaries of the consistory align with the district boundaries. So the Lusaka district, in terms of the local government structure, that's what amounts to a consistory in the church structures. Then from there, we've got the presbytery, which also, in terms of the like the government boundaries, it's the presbytery. It's actually the province.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a
So
province.
yeah, the boundaries of the presbytery in our settings is equivalent to the boundaries of the provinces. So that's how come we've got 10 presbytery bishops. But recently I heard that Lusaka was about to be redemarcated. I don't know if that has taken effect,
Yeah, so like that.
Yes,
it has.
It has,
It
huh?
has, yes,
Yeah.
in Parliament.
because the Constitution provides that where the synod sees it fit, they can redemarcate the
Okay.
presbytery. Yeah,
Okay.
then we've actually, from the synod itself, we've got the synod as the highest court. We call it the supreme
Supreme.
the supreme place, or
supreme
the
place,
highest court,
the highest court,
which is the appellate court actually of final jurisdiction, where all appeals go to for finality and their decision is final.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very
It
interesting.
means you can't appeal.
You
When
can't
they've
appeal.
said they are wrong, you are wrong.
Yeah, wrong. So, so if you've noticed, the four main levels, what are they? So there's congregation, consistory, presbytery, and synod.
Yes.
So for all those that don't know the levels, congregation, then
Just do everything, Dorothy.
okay, congregation, consistory, presbytery, and then synod. Those are the four main levels of government in the UCZ.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Dorothy, because I remember last time you were following. Why is the congregation the basic unit of UCZ?
What is the basic unit?
Yes.
Okay, that question that you're giving me now.
You were
Me, I'm
following.
thinking, no. Me, I'm thinking about basic units in scientific teams. Like, what are the basic the
Show
SI
off.
units? Me, that's what I know.
Show off.
But
Okay.
for real, that's what I personally know. So please highlight me. Why is it called the basic unit?
Okay, this question will go to Mr. Katongo,
Why not you?
because I was there last time. I paid attention, right?
But you can answer for the viewers,
Okay, so we'll hear Mr. Katongo's view, then I'll answer.
Then you answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so just as I think explained by Councillor Frederick in terms of the structure of our church, I think the congregation is, in terms of the hierarchy, is the lowest hierarchy or level. And it's called the basic unit because that is where the spiritual mandate in terms of the membership is starts from, because of the membership who are brought into the church, who are galvanized, to be able to spur their spiritual growth, first of all, from that aspect. But also, remember, it's at the congregation level where the different sacraments of our church are practiced or take place or happen. And here we mean things to do with baptism, things to do with Holy Communion, but also issues to do with marriages. It's the responsibility of the church as the smallest unit to be able to manage those. And it's through even some of the practices that we have as a church, especially vis-a-vis marriages, that we are able to create families and units that can now grow, and this is where we are able to build and grow our church. So I think it's from that aspect that it's the smallest unit, because it has to really manage the membership and also provide leadership in terms of offering spiritual guidance and sacraments that are provided, offered in the church, as I've mentioned already.
Yes, thank you very much. Also, I think for the congregation, this is where we are starting from. This is where we interact with people.
Yeah.
All these other levels of government are just basically governing the province, governing the district. But when we come to the congregation, this is why you're actually interacting with the members of the church. This is where you see people come to church worshiping. You see people giving offering. As you've said, you've seen people.
So it's like where the main issues start from before they reach there.
Our congregations, they can't govern the
That's
district.
true. That's very true.
Okay.
So I would also like to ask, how is the presbytery different from consistory?
So as Mr. Mtonga has
Hold on. It's not.
It's not mine.
It's not your question. I'll ask you at the end of the segment. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have your chance. Please. Please, Council, can you?
The question is, you can come again?
So the question is, how is the presbytery different from consistory? So that someone can understand it in better terms, since there's congregation, consistory, presbytery, and then there's synod. Because me, majority of the times, I used to be getting myself confused with, presbytery and consistory.
Okay, so even just like it is in terms of structure, consistory is subordinate to presbytery, meaning that presbytery, just like consistory, provides oversight to the congregation. In this case now, it's presbytery that provides oversight to consistory, and also when it comes to discipline, probably, or it is the higher court, and it's an appellate court. So matters that are brought before the consistory, they are appealed to the presbytery.
That's, okay, at least now it's a simpler term, because
Are we using difficult terms?
At first you are using difficult. I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's because my terms that I know are scientific. I do not know. So I would like to also ask another question. The Constitution, since it sets term limits, and for example, the bishop serves a maximum of 2 terms of 4 years, so meaning that 4 years each, right?
Yes.
4 years each. So why is it important to have the limiting terms? Why is it important to have the set of limiting terms?
Yeah, okay. So I think term limits in terms of the governance structure, especially when you look at all the key courts that we have from synod, presbytery, consistory, as well as church level. Like I mentioned, personally, I served a 4 tenure of convenership in terms of communication, but these were closed up 2-year term each. Each year was again ratified to continue another 2 years. I think the reason for that, from the church perspective, is to ensure that they promote the aspect of, first of all, me as an individual, I think I need to be responsible for the time that God has allocated to me, to be able to provide the necessary leadership, because I do not have all the time to myself to be able to deliver or execute what I think ought to be executed.
Yes.
So within the time frame that, or the limit that has been provided to me, I need to use that time wisely, as God expects, as a steward in the vineyard. I need to know that I do not have the time all to myself,
All
but
to
I need
yourself.
to utilize that time wisely. And also, I think the term lists are very vital because they allow for other divergent views to come in and be able to bring new ideas. The aspect of innovation is also one of them because you also want to allow other ideas to come and flourish and be able to bring new developments and new changes. Unlike what we see, especially in probably other type of administration or leadership, where maybe you have leaders who may be there for a very long time. It becomes
More than
difficult for you
the
to
term.
to push new ideas in because it's one mind and one decisions which are being made consistently for over years and years, sometimes even over 20, 30 years, which is not good. So I think
20.
in our church, I think this is good because it helps us to be able to be good custodian of our time and be able to allow new ideas to be able to come and flourish and bring new innovation to the running of the church.
So I wanted to ask a question. So what if, for example, someone is serving a term and it comes to an end, right? And then maybe they don't have people to replace them, like people that are qualified to replace them. In such scenarios or situations, do you still let the person continue the term, or do you look for someone who's not qualified for that position
long
and
as
just
the
give
term
them?
is
Because as
done.
long as it's just someone different, like I would like to know. Council?
Maybe I can chip in.
Council.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, so I think last time I did mention, though I don't know whether my position was correct or not, but I did mention that our constitution is very rigid,
yeah.
comprises of rules that are strict.
Yes.
In our leadership structures from congregation to synod level, there's something that is notable. At congregation level, we've got leaders like elders, stewards, and other maybe conveners and other leaders of different committees. So these are on the lower side of leadership. If it's in the business sense, we would say maybe strategic management and non-strategic management. So this one, like for elders, they have got term limits,
Yes.
but they are also allowed to recontest after a certain period of time. So maybe an elder, the first term is 4 years, but
Yes.
they can also be taken back to office for another 4 years, after which they have to rest for 4 years, and then now they can also come back.
They can also come back.
Same applies to stewards. Those stewards is 2 years.
2 years.
But now when we go to the higher courts like Synod Bishop, and I think even the Secretary General,
Yes.
their terms is it's 4 years per term, of which they can contest for another 4 years, after which they will never contest again.
Never.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So actually, that's another issue that has been in contention. And the time that we are doing reviews over this constitution, is one of the
Yes.
things that was being submitted to say that bishops should also be given another time to recontest.
Recontest.
Yeah. But like what my brother said, one of the main reasons why we don't want people to hold leadership positions in perpetuity, so to say, is also to avoid concentration of power in the same individuals, which creates different types of problems. Yeah, like if maybe I'm a convener forever,
Yes.
okay, I may start selecting people that I know that these people will be obedient to what I'm saying. So to cut that, it's better we have term limits so that when
Term
your term finishes, you go. Other people comes in with new ideas, just like my colleague said.
So those already are problems. But under congregation level, if there's no one who can like fill in those other spaces, even though the person has already saved 2 terms, are they still allowed to like come back, or will you still get someone who's not qualified at the moment?
So, sorry, maybe I missed that one. When you say somebody who's not qualified,
Because like for example, you find maybe the person doesn't know the same position, maybe you give them to be a steward, and then already the previous person who was there already saved their food terms, and then in their section, maybe they don't have someone who can.
Can
Yes,
I chip
yes.
in? Yeah. I think this one is. I think this one is very straightforward. I think church leadership and just leadership, especially church leadership. I think when it comes to issue of qualification, and maybe only when you go to, especially the higher courts in terms of the higher positions,
Yes.
synod, secretary general, and the financial secretary. Those positions sometimes, especially financial secretary, you require even a professional where certain qualifications are mandatory to have for you to. But if you're talking about, especially on the lower tier, to serve as a steward or to serve as a convener per se, or to serve as in either the youth groups, boys brigade, girls brigade,
Yes.
I don't think when it comes to that level of leadership, I think the issues of qualification become so inhibitive, rather than considering the aspect of, first of all, the commitment of the membership. Are you a communicant member, first of all? I think those are the qualifications.
Yes.
Then how is your commitment to the group or the position that you'd like to hold? If it's convener for which role? If it's for communication, obviously you should be able to have some interest in that aspect of communication, and you are very versatile. Probably you've even worked in the communication before, and you're a committed member, you are a communicant member, the section knows you. I think those are the qualifications that we'll look at. So if, for example, you leave communication, I think to find somebody who should be able to come and be in your position to be able to help lead the communications function, I don't think that would be very difficult in the church, because the church is very big.
It's very
And
big,
that's
yeah.
the reason why the aspect of term limits for leadership in this position is there, to avoid that aspect of allowing people to go in perpetuity, because also it breeds in the issues of complacency, like my brother was saying, where you now start even bringing, as a leader, you start bringing your friends in that committee. You find that the entire committee is made up of friends of the convener. So as a result, you don't get the full complement of results in that committee, because the convener and the membership, when they have a meeting, it's always a chit-chat meeting, because they are all friends and buddies.
I agree with you, Mr.
So does that
Katongo.
also apply for small congregations? Because he said, since it's a big, because there are those that are small congregations, those village congregations. What about for them?
Yeah, so maybe I think I didn't touch on that when I was trying to explain.
Yes.
So like for stewards, I've seen where there's no, where maybe my term has finished. They may still request me to say, okay, you can continue. Until I think it's a bit flexible on that one. But
Okay, that one's flexible.
for people in the higher courts, it's difficult.
Okay.
Yes, it's very difficult.
No, thank you very much, because now that has been cleared up. Because I was thinking about, what about someone who's like in Mansa or in Shantumu, like they've just started a small
congregation.
Yeah, congregation.
Yeah.
And then members, it's not like the members are becoming more, they still have the same numbers. So like, do they still have to give others? But thank you for that insight.
I agree. Also, that I think church, like the positions in church are not difficult positions. I think everyone is able to adapt to them. You can adapt to being a steward. You can adapt to being anything in church, as long as you put your minds to it. Like us, we didn't know how to operate cameras and stuff like that. But
That's true.
Now you've
here
learned.
we are. Yes.
So now, we're now going to go for a short break. Please stay with us, tune with us, comment, ask questions, and we will be right back.
Hello, welcome back to our Know Your Church podcast. Today we're understanding section part 3 of the Constitution. So before we move on, what we're discussing on was terms. And then I'll have a question, a short question. This terms actually relates to ministers too, yeah? So what happens if a congregation doesn't want you people to change their minister? They are used to Mr. Daka, and they don't want you to switch. That's who they want. That's the one who preaches right to them. So what would happen in that situation, Mr. Katongo?
If a congregation demands that they want to keep their minister,
Yes.
well, I think first of all, we've already understood the structure of our church in
Yes.
terms of how the RCZ is run. I think the church is on the lower end in terms of the governance. This is the one that is responsible for the day-to-day management of the membership and running the church, as it were. The synod, being the highest court in our governance, is the one that is responsible for the ministers in terms of deployment and placement of ministers in specific congregations. And I think there's a criteria. I know my colleague might speak a bit more to that in terms of how they are able to select and deploy ministers to different congregations. So when the higher court has made a decision in terms of who the reverend will be on a particular church or congregation, I think it's not up to the members to petition the higher court in this regard by saying no, would like to maintain. Because if it were the case, then there will be no need for synod to take up the responsibility to do the placement. They need to be up to the churches to basically be the ones to make requisition to say we would like this membership. Yet again, it will take us to the aspect of creating challenges and confusion within the church, because imagine all the congregations, each one rising to say, as we want Reverend A to be preaching. And what if Reverend A has got 4 congregations who are crying for him or her that they should come to their congregation? That will create confusion. Already we are I think from our preamble, you mentioned, I think yourself, order in the church.
Order.
So how do we bring order in the church? By us, following the guidance, of our Supreme Court in terms of the church leadership. Remember, the synod is, is our spiritual leader. So once guidance is provided from synod and the hierarchy that we have there, Secretary General and the synod council, they have made a decision. I think they ought to be that respect from the church point of view to accept what has been provided and be able to move in that accord. As a result, we'll have a church that is united, that remains united as we are as UCZ.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr.
Yeah, maybe my
Katongo.
colleague can add to that.
Mr. Mtonga?
Yeah, maybe to chip in, just a little bit. Yeah, like what my colleague has said, we want order in the church, and that's why the Constitution is framed in such a way that it provides for provision that provides for order. So, in an event whereby members of the congregation say, no, we want this reverend, or we don't want this reverend, now it's very difficult to abide by that because it creates confusion. Every other member from different congregation now, I think there will be that leeway to say, no, when you don't want a reverend, you can just report to presbytery or synod to say we don't want this,
for you.
then they remove him. But our constitution is very strict. Once presbytery, through the stationing committee, assigns the reverends, other people that are involved in ministry into different congregations, they will notify synod to say, this is what we have done. If somebody is aggrieved by the decision, again, they will have to appeal to synod, of which, again, the decision is final. But again, as a general principle in law, we say that every law has got an exception. Here is a reverend who has been posted maybe kwa Kaputa. And this reverend has got a medical condition which requires specialized treatment, maybe at UTH. It becomes very difficult for the reverend to be traveling from Kwakaputa every now and then to UTH. Maybe There are maybe two monthly appointments every now and then traveling. So in such a situation, a letter can be written to synod and specifying the reasons why that reverend should be transferred or should be allowed to stay in the same place. So the reason should be compelling, not just for any other reason, but there should be a serious, genuine reason why such a situation should occur.
All right. So we'll move on to leadership and accountability. That's our second segment. And I'll read Acts 6, verse 3, which says, "Brothers and sisters, choose 7 men from among you who are known to be full of the Spirit and wisdom. We will turn this responsibility over to them." So this is now leadership and accountability. Who are the key officers in synod, on the synod level? Who do we look at when it comes to accountability also? Please, Mr. Katongo, I'll start with you.
Oh, okay.
So we have to keep flipping our books.
Oh,
no,
no,
we have
no.
to make
Yeah, you need
reference
to
to
quote
the
from your
Constitution.
books.
Yes.
Please show them the book. For those who do not know. There's
And,
the
and, and
Constitution.
those who need to buy the Constitution,
Yes.
the copies of the Constitution.
You can have a
Yes.
copy. You can just buy it.
Yes.
Can we have a soft copy?
No.
No, 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 no. That's copyrights now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, I think it's
Yes.
vital to just make reference so that at least even the viewers can be very,
Yes, please make
very
reference.
convinced as well as appreciate that much of the reference we are making is from our
Constitution.
Our Constitution.
Yes.
From yes.
So it's not coming from their minds.
It's not coming
It's
from
quoted.
without.
It's been written down.
And this is the revised constitution as of 2024. So in terms of the synod, so you're asking about the
So
The
my
key
question is, who are
officers
the
of
key
synod.
officers at synod?
yeah. So synod obviously is headed by the synod bishop. Yeah, who is headed by the synod bishop, who is obviously bestowed by the council from the presbytery level. The different members who they're elected. Actually, it's an elective position, so they're elected to that position, and they have like mentioned already, a 4-year tenure, and they can run for 2 years, and thereafter they cannot run. Unlike these other positions within our structure, where after 2 years or after 4 years you can again probably run, but for synod bishop, it's 4 years and it's done. Then from the synod bishop, we have our GS, our general secretary, and this is basically our chief executive officer of the UCZ. I think he's responsible for the day-to-day running of the church, of the church from the synod level, providing oversight of all the different departments of synod and of the church in terms of administration, in terms of human resource support, in terms of communication. And within that structure, we have an administrative secretary who is among the different level secretary or departments, if you like. Like if it's a ministry, you'd hear of a department. So like in synod level, from the bishop to the GS, general secretary, then you've got, if you like, departments. Or these are sections, and there are quite a number of these departments. Maybe I'll just speak to a few, and my colleague can speak to the remaining. We've got the financial secretary, or who is in charge of the financial running of the church, as it were, from the synod level. You know, we've got the community development and social justice section, which is run by the Community and Social Justice Secretary. We've got the Missions and Evangelism Secretary, obviously, who is in charge of the missions and the evangelism aspect, ensuring that our pastoral leadership of the membership goes beyond our church, but also goes to the community, of course, obviously in line with the Great Commission, for us to be able to spread the word and go and win souls out in the community, as it were. Then also, I think I would end it at the educational secretary, ensuring that we have a robust education program within the United Church of Zambia. As you know, we've got our school for reverends, and so it plays a very key role in that aspect. I think these are some of the sections that I can speak about after having spoke about the bishop as general secretary. Probably council can speak to the remaining other departments or units within our hierarchy.
Okay, so actually, what is being spoken about is coming from Article 15.
Article 15?
Article 15A, sub-article or paragraph 1. So we also have the health secretary. We have the communications and media secretary. I think that's the reverend that was preaching on Sunday.
Yeah, Reverend Morph, yeah. Yes, we did have him.
Yeah, then the vice chancellor for the UCZ University is also part of Synod. He's by virtue of his position, yes.
So he's also called vice chancellor?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So all these people that are being talked about, we call them ex-official members. By virtue of the position which they hold, they become part of Synod. Yes. Then we have the members of the Board of Trustees. Then the project secretary and the constitutional rules and regulations office. You know, my colleague.
Yes. And under them as well.
So now, I've been thinking.
Yes.
All these people mentioned above, there are qualifications that they must hold for them to be appointed or to
Because
get
I actually wanted to ask
But
how
for CRR, there's no qualification.
There's no
I
qualification.
don't understand.
So wait, even myself.
There's no qualification.
Even
but
myself,
there's tenure.
There's tenure.
There's tenure, yes. Is it 2 years by 2 terms? Yes.
By 2.
But there's no qualification.
So even I myself can come there and be like, or will you just ask me to be there, or I can volunteer myself?
I don't know. This one is appointed by Synod. Huh?
It's
Yeah,
appointed
by
Synod.
the what do you call the committee? The stationing committee.
Because I actually
Yes.
wanted to ask all these names, the positions that you've mentioned, how are they even chosen? Because obviously, majority of us don't know how they are chosen. Is it that thing of because I know this one, you choose them, or because they've saved a certain time period, then you'll be like, I think he can save there.
Yes.
So how do you choose them? Everyone would like to know. Like, we need to have clarity.
At each level, except the congregation level,
Yes.
there is an appointment and the stationing committee. I think that's more active at Presbyterian Synod level. So that's a committee that has been formed specifically to deal with appointments and where to take certain individuals. So, like for Synod, Bishop, and General Secretary, we know that these are politics, huh? Yeah, these are politics actually.
Are you
so
going
these
to
are
mention
elected.
that?
Yes.
Even in church, there's politics.
Yes,
Synod Bishop.
these are church politics. So the two are elected into office.
Yes.
Then when you go to the administrative secretary, is it and
The
finance
rest are
secretary?
appointed.
Yes.
Yes, they are appointed.
So the rest
Yes.
are appointed by them,
By that same committee.
by the same
The
committee.
appointment and stationing committee.
So appointment and stationing committee, I would love to meet you people.
And
Please
understand
send
the
me an
criteria.
invite.
How is the election done?
Yes,
I
because
don't-
I think maybe in addition to what Council Frederick has said, I think bring it a bit back home. I don't know if
Yes.
you were very observant last year what happened when it came to the new leaders that were being taken on board
Yes.
during our AGM. I think the criteria has changed even at congregation level. If you noted, previously the sections would call for names, recommendations in terms of stewards, in terms of conveners.
Yes.
And then I think the ones that were nominated would just come and be presented before the church, and especially from steward's point of view, coming from the sections, the names would just be submitted and announced in
yes.
church. You stand 3 times and that's it. Then once you go through the council, which is the body that does the ratification. Once that is done, then they come and announce. But last year in the AGM, that changed. I think we saw an election, taking place because the criteria has now changed. So even for the new leadership that we'll have this year, there's already a new committee that is going to be put in place that will be in charge of the elections. I think last year it was Elder Kafwimbi, if you noticed. I think he was the chairperson of that committee. And it was a huge committee of different people who were put in place by the Congregational Council. Even this year, again, it's a Congregational Council that is in charge of putting in place that elections, that body
Committee,
that looks
yes.
at that committee that looks after that. So even here at congregational level, that has changed now. People have to, even as the stewards, you just
Yes.
don't, once they submit your name as a section, you might not go through automatically. If you are 3 or 4 of you, meaning there are
Yes.
only 2 positions, you have to vie for those positions by virtue of elections. And if you don't make it, then you don't become
So
a steward.
how do you vie? Supposed to
Campaign.
do a campaign? We all want to know.
Do you buy chitenges for the church?
Or do you?
Constitutions
Yes,
and
like
for the
we need
church?
to know. Do you campaign so that we know if we have to also campaign? Eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Start pushing for our position.
Personally, I've never heard that, okay, now the time for campaign is open or the time is closed.
Even me, I've
But I'm
never
sure
heard.
there should be some campaign that goes on.
That
Yeah.
goes on in the background.
So that
Yeah.
one, so campaign is just not allowed.
It's subtle. I'm sure
Oh,
it's
it's
there.
subtle, it's just-
It's subtle without.
You buy to
without-
constitutions, you start giving at the gate.
So the committee that my colleague is talking about, I think it came after the enactment of this constitution.
Yes.
So that's an ad hoc committee. It will specifically be set for just for that particular period dealing with that particular issue. After that, it dissolves.
Okay.
So we will have a different committee when that time comes.
So now there's an interesting part. I heard there's something about 8 registered trustees in protecting church property. So like, why do we have 8 and what's their role? Why 8?
And why do we need to protect
Yes,
church property? What
church
can
pro-
Christians
yes.
do to the property?
Imagine. So like, we're wondering. Like,
You see, when I was a steward,
yes.
I was busy telling my friend Paul that why are you closing your eyes when it's time to pray? You're not supposed to close your eyes. You're a gate man here. Look what is happening.
See the money.
Yeah. Maybe my colleague would want to talk about that.
8 trustees, Mr. Katongo.
Yeah, even as I speak to that, let me also just make some reference to the Constitution, because I think it does bring out the aspect of
Okay,
trustees.
the
I think
constitution
that
is
should be
big, eh?
that should be Article 18.
Not even
Article
that
18,
big.
If
page
not,
what?
should be Article 18 if I'm not forgotten.
Are you
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me just try and look up. Okay, maybe even as you are looking it up, maybe I can just say a few things.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
page 50. Article 18, sub Article B,
Yeah, trustees. So it's on
Paragraph
page
1.
page 4.
Page 54. Yeah.
54, yes. So I think the trustees are very pivotal. So let me just read something that is provided for in on page 54 on trustees. There shall be 8 registered trustees who shall be appointed by the synod, provided that the persons for the time being holding the office of synod bishop and general secretary respective shall be registered trustees by virtue of such office. So these are very high level officials within the church that have previously even held high positions, and so there is that reverence in terms of what they bring on board. And usually when you talk about trustees, you're talking about people that have been there, have seen it, have done it, because what they are bringing on board is really to provide a lot of oversight and guidance. And specifically to answering your question, I think to ensure that, the first bullet here says, ensuring that the inventory of various assets is carefully maintained. And, as a church, we have a lot of assets.
Yes.
As a church, I think United Church of Zambia, I think, is second only to the Catholic Church when it comes to assets and in terms of also size, in terms of the membership. And so, as a church, we need to guard and protect those assets. Some of us as members, we might not even know what assets we have as a church. We might even be grossing over some of these assets and not even taking care of them, not knowing that they are ours. So it's one of the responsibility of the trustees to provide that oversight and leadership, obviously to Synod, to ensure that there is a protection of our inventory. And when it talks about inventory, it's basically talking about the amount of assets that we have as a church. You know, we've got schools, we've got hospitals, you know, we've got our new Synod building, and all those are part of the assets that we have, which we need to guard against.
All right. Thank you very much. So we'll be moving to our third segment, which is discipline and restoration. A lot of people don't know if we are disciplining them or we are restoring them back to order. So I'll read Galatians 6 verse 1. It says, brothers and sisters, if anyone is caught in a sin, you who lives by the Spirit should restore that person gently. Do you think we restore gently for them to have to appeal?
I've never been a member of the pastoral committee, but anyway, but that's the whole idea. In an ideal situation, there should be that approach, whereby when a member of the congregation has erred, the whole idea, when called for pastoral session, to have that member dismissed. Because pastoral, actually, it talks about discipline.